In Acts 17, Paul quotes two Greek sources here to support his point that the Creator does not need temples or service from humans. First, Paul uses Epimenides, a poet from Crete, cited in Titus 1 and 12. The original poem no longer exists, yet it appears in a number of ancient writers' accounts. The second citation he used was from Aratus, a Cilician poet, in his Phaenomena 5. The original line in him, "We move and live and have our very being," was very pantheistic. But Paul spins this line into a statement about how God is the source of our life. One might ask how he came to know this poetry. One possibility is that he had a secular education which could be applied to the preaching of the gospel. We might imagine Paul, thinking through his task of being a light to the Gentiles, researched various possible points of contact in order to preach to pagan audiences. In fact, this is a typical way of doing apologetics today, as Christians will study philosophy for the purpose of interacting with the philosophical world on their terms in order to explain the gospel. Perhaps these poets and their phrases were common knowledge in that day. If so, it's more like today's preachers who use a common phrase in order to make a point. Perhaps what Paul is doing here in Acts 17 is using culture to reach a certain audience. As for him to cite the Hebrew Bible would have been fruitless, since the audience did not know it, nor were they disposed to hearing Jewish texts. Paul did not think that Jewish or Christian theology could be added to Stoicism in order to put one right with God. Therefore, the point of conversion was on a different, new worldwide level. So does Acts 17 give us permission to use popular social media quotes? Perhaps, but the important thing is to use cultural references whenever we're preaching to an audience that does not know the Bible. Rather, I think he's trying to show us we can use the gospel in various ways. We could use social media, like Facebook, street evangelism, or use of spiritual songs, through personal testimonies, community service, through videos, or whatever means God puts on our hearts.